I know I look goofy as hell with this goddamn camera on my face. Going through all these little small towns. Let's have Detroit talk to you. Only thing I don't like about that bull bar I put on the front of my truck is you can hear it rattling around. Dude, oh, you gonna have to back up, son. The only bad thing about when I moved up here to Ohio is I almost, like most of our loads, I take damn near nothing but back roads to get to them. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but a lot of stop and go, a lot of small towns to run through, stuff like that. It's not terrible, but some days it definitely eats up your fuel mileage. Which I kind of get back only because of all the empty miles that I run. Hauling fuel, doing tanker in general, you're gonna have a lot of empty miles. It's not often you get a back haul or anything like that. But today's still Sunday from my earlier video, or the other video I did. It's still Sunday, the what is it, the 5th? Yeah, February 5th. I delivered my second load, and I got about a 2.5 hour deadhead to the house, and I got about 3.5 hours left on my 14. So also moving to Ohio, we got quite a few like longer loads as far as I mean, hell, my first load, what was it? I started this morning, I deadheaded took about an hour and a half or so to get down to Columbus. I deadheaded to Columbus, got loaded, and then I think it was about a maybe 2.5 hour ride to my first store. Then I got back, I got back to Columbus to reload for this one. I want to say it was around like 11 or 11:30. I left the house at 5 o'clock this morning. So it takes a little while. Some of these stores are pretty far out there. And then of course I do this one. And I've got, I mean, from the store I just left to get back to Columbus, I'd say it's probably about an hour and maybe an hour and a half, somewhere around there. Yeah, about an hour and a half or so. And then from Columbus, I got an hour, then it's an hour to the house, so 2.5 hour deadhead, and I'll be golden. Go drop my trailer, bobtail to the house. I need to change the fuel filter on my truck, which, I mean, it's not too bad, but it's around the 70, maybe 70-80% mark, so I'll go ahead and change it. Might as well. I got a long day tomorrow. You gonna go? We got a green light. But anyway, Kyle at Nevada, or his YouTube channel is Nevada Trucking and Trails, and he did a video on when he switched from low pro 22.5 tires to 11R 22.5 tires, so a little bit higher, or a little bit taller of a tire. And I'll link that video down below. I'm actually interested to see what his fuel mileage is, if it changed since he's got that 13 speed and in that 389. Because I know he's running lower RPMs at cruise, like cruising speeds and stuff, or just in general, it's lower RPM. And so I'm curious to see if, with the 13 speed that he has, if his fuel mileage has gone up or down. But I figured I'd make this video about how I went from the low pro 22.5's to tall rubber on 24.5's, and the difference in the tires is about a 5-inch difference in height. I like the bigger rims. I think the bigger tires and the bigger rims look better on the truck. Now he showed there was a speed difference of a little bit of a speed difference. And again, if you want to see what it was, go watch his video. But there was a difference in speed since he went to a taller tire than what his truck was, spec'd for. As far as not recalibrating the engine, the ECM, to read it. And I had done the same thing, like with my truck, going from the low pro 22.5's to the taller tires on the 24.5's. I gained at cruising speed, I run about 200 RPM less than what I was doing before. Before I could do 75 at 1700 RPM, 75 miles an hour at 1700 RPM. Now I can do 75 at, usually it's just about 1500. So I'm turning about 200 RPM less. However, one of the cons is my fuel mileage did go down, because my thinking on it was, if I'm turning less RPM, I'm burning less fuel, which may be true. However, I noticed especially when loaded, I don't notice it as much empty, but loaded, you lose a lot of torque going to the taller tires. And as far as that much of a drastic change, I have 355 rears in my, in the rear ends on my truck. I've got 355s just like Kyle does. But with him having a 13 speed, he may have different, final gear ratio on his might be different than what mine is. Because I have a 10 speed, he's got a 13 speed. And I've noticed with my 10 speed, I think one of the reasons my fuel mileage has gone down with mine is I have to gear down a lot more. Like, when I'm loaded, as soon as I start going up even a slight grade, if I'm not up around 1500 RPM in that power band, if I'm down where I'm at right now, about 1200, then my truck just bogs down because of the taller tires. And so I've got to go to I have to downshift to 9th gear a lot more often than I had to before. And I'm wondering with his 13 speed if it may have to gear down, but at least it's only splitting half a gear versus me going down a whole gear. And so the difference, hell, his could even improve fuel mileage. It's very possible. I know with the low pro tires, you they have a lot less rolling resistance. However, the RPMs that he's saving, you know, and with him having a hood truck, it could actually result in him gaining some fuel mileage versus losing like I did. Because honestly, I think it's, you know, I also do a lot less highway cruising than he does, as far as, you know, he's in top gear, running on the highways a lot more than I am, where I'm sitting here going through all these small towns and stuff like that, and doing local work. I'm shifting my truck a heck of a lot more than, you know, than his might be. But he's also over the road, I'm local, so it's, you know, you got two completely different worlds. But I know when I first got the tires changed out, before I had the speedometer recalibrated, I was running, like, it changed based on how fast I was going. Like when I had looked at my GPS, just like what Kyle did, and the difference was pretty substantial. Like when I was doing, you know, my truck would say 55 miles an hour, but my actual speed was around 61. And then when I was up doing 70 miles an hour, I'm actually doing about 77, 78. And so I had to have the speedometer recalibrated and all that, or my ECM recalibrated at least. That way it would actually show my true, you know, my true speed. But yeah, going to these taller tires with a 500 horse Detroit 12.7, a 10-speed, you know, transmission, and 355 rears, it might look cool, but it definitely hurt me in the long run as far as fuel mileage goes. Even though I'm, like, since I don't run near as many miles as an over-the-road truck, I mean, I might be doing, now that I'm in Ohio, I'm probably doing I mean, what, I'm averaging maybe 2,000 miles a week, whereas running out of Jacksonville, Florida, I was, most weeks I was hitting maybe 800 to 900 miles for the entire week. That's both loaded and empty. And now up here, I'm running about 2,000 miles a week, loaded and empty. So I'm running a lot more miles now, but I'm still not running near as many miles as, you know, some over-the-road guys might be doing, still like 40 to 50,000 miles more per year than what I'm doing, you know, unless they're a team like Nevada is, to where he's probably doing 200,000 plus, you know, a year. So if he's able to save some fuel, it will make a big difference. Whereas with me, you know, half a mile per gallon for me isn't near as much of a hit as you know, an over-the-road truck might be. So I was looking at my profit and loss for last year, and for the entire year of 2022, my fuel cost was only $66,000, where I know there's a lot of guys running over the road, even solo, that they're spending over $100,000 of their money went to fuel. But I'm running a heck of a lot less miles. Engine braking prohibited. The sign said no engine braking. The sign is wrong. I'm just kidding. I totally follow engine braking laws. It would be inconsiderate if I didn't. always wonder if people even notice, like if they do notice. I'm sitting here driving down the road with a camera strapped to my head. Don't worry, they're just night vision goggles. Nothing to see here. Also see I don't even notice it anymore. I didn't realize I've had these rims and tires on this truck for right at a year now. I got them put on at 200,000 miles. They've got 84,000 miles on. The drives do anyway. The steers were replaced shortly after I moved up here because they were wearing weird. They were Goodyear tires, and then I had these Continental tires put on, and these Continentals have been working out very well for me. They haven't been running weird or anything like that. They haven't been wearing, you know, any in any odd form or shape or anything like that. So I don't know if I'll ever buy Goodyear steer tires again, but these Continentals are working out pretty dang good. But I'm actually thinking about going from these tall 24.5 tires to low pros. Get some, I think if I remember right, the size on them is like 280, I want to say it's like 285, 75, 24.5, something like that. I don't know, too many damn numbers. But that would require me buying at least 8 new tires if I do my drives. And then my steers can just stay tall 24s until I decide to replace them. And I really don't want to waste the money since, I mean, hell, I still got probably, I think the last time I checked my drive tires, the lowest one was still like 26, 30 seconds. I mean, they've been wearing, like, they haven't been wearing, like, bad at all. I've been very surprised with some, you know, $300 a piece Fortune tires from Thailand. I've just been very, very surprised with them. They've been wearing in pretty dang good. My drives I don't really care about as far as what the brand is. It's mainly my steer tires. I like to make sure I have a name brand or something, at least something reputable on my steer tires. And these Continentals that I have on here, holy crap, they're the HSR2, I think. And I know that they're an all-position tire, and so they have a ton of tread on them. I think they were right at 30 seconds, like right at 1 inch of tread, basically. I don't know, but they've been doing real good. Haven't, you know, even as much as my truck turns going in and out of stores, they haven't worn any kind of weird way or anything like that, so I've been real happy with them. Yeah, we going to run some of these back roads. This is US 62, headed back up toward Columbus. Once I get up here, I'm gonna jump on I-71, go to Columbus, and then head on home from there. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment, call me an idiot, I don't care. But yeah, hell, I changed out to these 7-inch stacks, and if you saw my short video, you saw one of the elbows popped out of the stack yesterday, and so I fixed that, put a new clamp on. I've had all kinds of issues with this exhaust because I have come to the conclusion that this truck is not meant to have the type of exhaust on it that I've been putting on. But anyway, I'm gonna try to get it figured out, you know, and keep it looking nice. And who knows, I might actually go back to the 8-inch stacks, but if I do, I have a plan to do it differently. That way I don't run into the same problem I had before. I don't know, or I'll sell them. I haven't had anybody buy them or really offer anything on them yet as far as anything serious. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Right now I'm just kind of saving money and trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. That's about it. I'm gonna head to the house, and I got a busy day tomorrow on Monday. So one of our guys, his truck's in the shop, so normally I'm off on Monday, but his truck is still in the shop, so I'm gonna run the loads that he's got. So that ain't too bad. It'll work out. Y'all take it easy.